Have you ever stopped and just asked yourself, how did I get to this moment in life? Right? You start tracing back decisions you made a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And you go, oh, that's why I started working at that job. Or, that's why I made that life decision. I know at the end of last year, I did the same thing. Last year was a crazy year for your boy Exonavant. The first 6 months of the year, I had an eye issue. You guys remember shingles got into my left eye. Couldn't see for like 6 months. And then in the bottom half of the year, some of you may not know this, but my father passed away November the 2nd, early that morning. That was very traumatizing for me. It was just a crazy year for me personally. And then I'm juggling all that with the YouTube channel, and I'm still trying to earn a living with my freelance career. The stress of doing that all was crazy. So how did I get here? How did I get to this point where I'm pursuing this dream I have of YouTube being a full-time career? How did I get here? Because I didn't start here. When I started my YouTube channel, I did it mainly because I went to YouTube to find an answer to a trophy and achievement question, searching out videos like we all do if we have an issue with our games, and nobody had the answer I was looking for. And I said, well, if nobody has that answer, that's garbage, right? So I fire up all my little equipment I had currently and made a video and said, this is how you get this trophy. I know many of you need help getting this trophy. Trust me, this is how you get it. And that's where the channel was born. I didn't mean for it to be what it is. I didn't ask for it to be what it is. At the time I did my YouTube channel, I was making tons of money doing something else that I really love to do, which is freelance. I love making websites and doing brand stuff for companies and building logos and things of that nature. That's what I like to do. That's what I was doing. I had one client, he was paying me all the money I needed to pay my bills and put some money back in savings. I might have worked for him 7 times a month. Had a lot of free time on my hands. So it was that one question I had about a trophy and achievement that I could not find the answer for, that I said, this void needs to be filled. There needs to be explanations on how to get these trophies and achievements in as much detail as possible, because I know there's people out there like me who are interested in that sort of thing. Square One Games was born, and here we are today. It went from being a hobby. I had a couple of life choices happen over these past 6 years or so that some I made on my own, some I couldn't avoid. And along the way, viewers, fans such as yourself said, hey, why don't you do this as a full-time career? I said, nah, I don't know if I'd want to do it as a full-time career. I don't really trust the Google AdSense. I don't trust Dr. Pepper and Geico and all these other companies, because they can pull their money from me anytime. I don't trust these sponsorship deals. And at the time, there wasn't platforms like Patreon, or at least I didn't know about them at the time. But then when it finally hit me, somewhere in all that process, that I could just do 100% community funding, I could leave it up to the viewers to determine the value of the content that I was producing. That's what I fell in love with. I said, because if I'm not producing enough value for fans to give $1 or $2 a month to support me on a platform like Patreon, well, then my content's really not as good as I think it is anyway. And that's the true test. That's the true test of content, right? Dr. Pepper and Geico and all these companies, they don't give a flip about my content. They don't watch my content. They don't watch any of these YouTubers' content. They just care about the end result, right? The bottom line, the numbers. Oh, you got 1 million subscribers? Well, let's toss 10 grand at you to put a 30-second ad in your video. That's all they care about. It's just numbers. They're not judging whether or not the content is actually good or not, right? In fact, most of the time when you see a YouTuber with 1 million+ subs and you look at their content, they're clickbait and they're doing misleading titles and misleading thumbnails, and they're getting paid truckloads of money going to the bank for these people. Hey, do what you got to do, but that's not me. I can't make 10 grand on a video if my content's not actually good. And the only people that can determine whether my content is actually good is the people who watch it. So 2019, I will start doing YouTube again full time. That means no freelance career. No income unless it comes from this channel or something that I'm doing that revolves around this YouTube channel. I don't make any money off the ads, none of that stuff. I'm going back to a time years ago where I just did YouTube because I wanted to, and whatever happens, happens. That's my mindset this year. I'm gonna do YouTube because I have to do it. I have to know. I have to be able to look back 10, 20 years from now. If I am in some desk job working 40, I have to be able to say, well, you gave it that last year. You did what you could do, and it didn't work out. And right now, I can't say that. That's the problem. I have to know. So what does all that mean for you guys? Well, it means the return of videos, consistent videos, every single day. Every single day. And if I miss a day, I double up the next day. It's roughly every 24 to 36 hours, you guys will be getting hit with some type of content from myself. And for most of you, you don't even know what that feels like because you've subscribed in a time where I'm posting, 10 videos a month. You don't know what it feels like for me to post 60 videos in a month or 90 videos in a month. You have no idea what that feels like. Even I sometimes forget what that feels like because it's been so long, but I'm itching to get that back. So plenty of content, diverse content. Those of you who buy the games on the very first day they're released, I will be bringing back day one coverage, regular trophy and achievement guys. That means I get the game at midnight. Within the first 12 hours, I'll be producing content. So you will have something to watch from me on that first day. And for between day one and maybe like day 7 through day 10, I'll have all the videos up that I'm going to produce for that game in terms of like a 2-3 minute video. You guys know what I'm talking about. Each individual trophy and achievement has its own video on my channel. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm going to be working on that game's road to completion guide, which should not take me more than 45 days to produce, depending on how big the game is. Then for those of you who are running the game on a backlog, you'll have a full 100% completion. I'll just basically hand you the platinum trophy on a silver platter when you decide to run that game. But the thing I'm most excited about for this year is the return of a show that we all love. That when I polled you guys years ago and said, what's your favorite show on the YouTube channel? I got 7 different shows, and it was like 70 some odd % of you said The Daily Dose. Notice how I said The Daily Dose. The Daily Dose used to be a daily show that I did. It was 1 video a day. We talked about topics and gaming and just whatever, right? It was 1 video a day. And then when my lifestyle changed, I had to stop. I had to stop it. I didn't want to stop it, but I had to. Then it became The Dose, which just kind of happened randomly. And I might post 1 or 2 a month. I just didn't have the time to produce the show. I could not do the freelance career and do the YouTube channels. I just couldn't. But this year, pulling away that freelance career, going 100%, we're talking 14 hours a day on average, 7 days a week, 365 days this year. The Daily Dose returns. But I'm not going to stop at just 1 episode per day. I will produce as many episodes of this show as I want to on a daily basis. It'll be the topics and the gaming news and the discussions and neutral topics that we can all get, all get involved with and talk about. It'll be how-to videos, how to beat this boss, how to find this key, whatever game I'm running, how to solve this puzzle. I'm going to be playing retro games on the game on the channel this year. Many of you want to see me run a retro game like Contra and Super C and the old games, Castlevania and those type of things, and give my opinion on them. Because most of you who are on this channel grew up with those games like I did. That's going to be part of the Daily Dose. It'll have a different thumbnail. It'll say Go Retro on it. So that way you don't have to click it if you're not interested. Everything is going to get funneled into the Daily Dose. My glitches be crazy. My Get to Know Me series, all that stuff is going to be funneled into the Daily Dose. So there's no telling how many videos is going to go up per day for that series. So we're going to have day one trophy and achievement coverage is coming back. The daily show is coming back, the daily dose, random topics. We just talked about that. And then, you know, give or take 1 to 2 months out of the game's release, if I decide to do an RTC for that game, that drops on the channel. And how awesome will it be a year from now if I say, oh, we hit 2,940 videos or whatever that number is. We did it, guys. My goal was reached. Here's where we are, and here's what I need to do next with the channel to continue. And that might mean walking away. That might mean treating it as a hobby again. That might mean pursuing it still as a full-time career. I have no idea where I'm going to be at with this channel 365 days from today. It really isn't up to me. It never has been. The interaction I get from you guys, the comments I get from you guys, it drives me to make these decisions. Middle of last year, I was sitting at $23 in my Patreon. Now I'm sitting at 96. Some of you are going to say, well, that's not a lot of money per month, Exonovant. What's the big deal in that? It's momentum. It's a shift. And that was in a year where I struggled to even get content out. So if I'm saying, well, I'm dependent 100% on my community to fund me to do YouTube full time so they can get the videos they want and I can have the time to make them, what better way than to put 100% into it? Then the people who are supporting me on Patreon, when you get your money's worth, you get the value that you justly are paying for, financially supporting. And then for those of you who don't really understand the value of the channel, you get to see the value of the channel. Then you get to make a decision on whether you want to support financially or not. And if at the end of this year you don't, that's fine. At least I'll know where we all stand. And I can live with that. I can then go out and get my 40-hour-a-week gig if I need to and look back and go, you know what? There's no regrets. I did my year, my one more year. I sacrificed, and now I know that going out and getting a 40-hour-a-week gig was the right thing to do. It was the only play. But right now, the beginning of this year, I just don't feel like it's the only play. I think we give it one more year and we see where this thing goes. You guys know when it comes to Patreon, I don't like the pity game. I don't want pity donations. I want to earn it. If at the end of this year, you look at this channel and you go, oh, it's pretty good content, but I wouldn't give it $1 per month, then don't. I urge you not to. For just as many of you that I urge to support, I urge just as many of you not to support, because I need those votes to be honest. If I can't earn your support, I don't want it. If you're giving right now on Patreon and you're just giving because it's X and you got some pity on me, nuh-uh, take it away. I have to know that if I'm earning, if I'm bringing in money from community support, it has to be earned, right? If you don't think my guides are some of the best guides out here, if you don't think some of my tips and tricks on games are some of the best out here, then keep your money. Keep it. I haven't done my job, so I don't deserve your support. That is the standard. That's the standard I'm shooting for this year. So I'm going to give you guys my undivided attention for 365 days. Again, no outside income coming in from freelance. The only income I'll make as a person is something that revolves around this YouTube channel. And that's it. And we'll see where this year takes us. But at the end of this year, guys, I'm going to have no regrets. Zero regrets. And I don't want you guys to have any either. I want us to all know what we're stepping into for the next 365 days and go from there. I love everybody out there. I'm excited about this year. I've already got videos planned for tomorrow and the next day. I've got a backup PS4 over here in case my current one dies. I got a backup Elgato in my closet. I just ordered another Blue Yeti mic in case this one dies. And I got money that I saved up over the years for a brand new PC if this PC dies. I'm not even going to let technical hiccups invade this channel this year. To the best of my ability, I'm going to protect us from that too. I want a clean, smooth 365 days so that we can all figure out where we stand with this channel. I love you guys. I love you guys. Every single one of you. Happy New Year. I'm sorry that I did not wish some of you guys a Merry Christmas. I was just busy preparing for this year, getting through my father's passing and all of that, guys. I had tons of things I had to do in town and banks and selling my father's estate and the whole nine. But Happy New Year. And I cannot wait to show you guys what I can do full time this year, 2019. I love you guys. You guys be good.